Gloria Purvis is an African-American Roman Catholic. She co-hosts a radio program called Morning Glory and a limited television series called Authentically Free at Last. This past Sunday, she was featured in a New York Times op-ed. The article quoted her as saying, "Racism makes a liar of God. Racism says not everyone is made in God's image. What a horrible lie from the pit of hell." As followers of Jesus, we cannot be indifferent. We may get wrapped up in our own agendas. We may want to withdraw into our own little world, doing our best not to be bothered by the brokenness and pain of those around us. But we need to keep our ears open, and we need to be ready to respond as best we can. Rabbi Daniel Hartman, who I mentioned earlier, tells a story that was handed down to him by one of his teachers. A famous Hasidic teacher was walking along a cobbled street in Eastern Europe some 200 years ago when he heard the cry of a baby coming from his student's house, a cry that pierced the night. He rushed into the house and saw his student enraptured in prayer, swaying in pious devotion. The rabbi walked over to the baby, took her into his arms, sat down, and rocked her to sleep. When the student emerged from his prayers, he was shocked and embarrassed to find his teacher in his house holding his baby. "Rabbi," he said, "what are you doing? Why are you here?" "I was walking in the street when I heard crying," he responded. "And so I followed it and found her alone." "Rabbi," the student replied, "I was so engrossed in my prayers that I did not hear her." And the rabbi replied, "My dear student, if praying makes one deaf to the cries of a child, there is something flawed in the prayer." Friends, our faith prompts us to recognize the humanity of others, not only people who are just like us. Our faith prompts us to pay attention to the places in our world that are broken and troubled, the places where there is pain. Our faith prompts us to respond to the insistent pleas of someone that we thought had nothing in common with us, but who turns out to be a child of God, created in the image of God. We must not remain indifferent. Amen.